So you've made the vision board, you've chanted the affirmations, you've tried to just think positive, and yet you've got that nagging feeling that it's just not working. What if the most popular advice on the law of attraction leaves out the two most important and, honestly, the hardest parts? Everyone loves to talk about the power of your thoughts, but they get awfully quiet about the real requirements for making things happen. In this video, we're pulling back the curtain on what those are. The most common advice we hear is that if you want something, you just have to think positively. And on the surface, that makes sense. Let's be real, positive thinking has proven benefits for your motivation and resilience. The problem isn't optimism, it's toxic positivity. This idea that you have to shut down any and all negative feelings. Forcing yourself to just be positive when you're actually feeling scared, sad, or frustrated is like slapping a coat of paint on a cracked wall. The crack is still there. Pushing your emotions down doesn't make them vanish. It just shoves them into the basement where they can fester and sabotage you later. This whole cycle can make you feel guilty and ashamed when it doesn't work, leaving you wondering if you're just broken. So what's really going on? The first thing they don't tell you is that manifestation isn't about ignoring your negative feelings. It's about getting your emotional state on the same page as your goals. This brings us to the real game changer, emotional alignment. True manifestation isn't just about thinking a happy thought, it's about genuinely feeling the reality of what you want before it even happens. And this is where it gets tricky. Most of us are walking around with subconscious baggage, old traumas, limiting beliefs, that keeps us in a state of emotional conflict. You can repeat, "I am wealthy," until you're blue in the face. But if your subconscious is quietly whispering, "No, you're not worthy," you're sending some seriously mixed signals to the universe. Some people point to research from places like the HeartMath Institute, which shows that our emotions actually change the measurable electromagnetic field around our hearts. While that's fascinating, there is no scientific proof that this field magically attracts things into your life. The practical lesson here isn't about magical heart fields. It's that you can't affirm your way out of a feeling you haven't been willing to face. Alignment comes from healing, not from hiding. Once you start working on that emotional alignment, you naturally unlock the second secret, inspired action. Pop culture sells the law of attraction as a totally passive experience. You just kick back, visualize a pizza, and wait for the delivery guy. This leads people to think that actually doing something is a sign of doubt. But that's not the whole picture. The real secret is knowing the difference between stressed out action and inspired action. Stressed out action feels forced. It comes from anxiety and a desperate need to control everything. Inspired action feels completely different. It's that little nudge, that intuitive pull, that creative idea that pops into your head out of nowhere. It feels light, exciting, and energizing, not like a chore. It's about taking the steps that feel right and natural and trusting the journey, not trying to steamroll your way to the finish line. You're not just waiting for a check to appear in the mail. You're aligning yourself so you're ready to jump on the right opportunity when it shows up. If the idea of inspired action clicks with you, drop a comment below and tell me one small inspired step you could take this week. I promise I read every single one. Okay, now we need to talk about the science, or the lack of it. The law of attraction, as a universal law of physics, is not supported by scientific evidence. It's widely considered a pseudoscience. Many of its claims are built on twisting real scientific concepts. For instance, you'll often hear quantum physics thrown around, with people citing the observer effect as proof that our thoughts shape reality. The problem is, physicists are very clear that this effect applies to how we observe and measure tiny subatomic particles, not to our consciousness manifesting a new Tesla. What's likely happening, psychologists say, is something called confirmation bias. When you focus intensely on something, like abundance, your brain gets really good at spotting opportunities related to it that you would have missed otherwise. That's not magic. It's just how your brain's filtering system works. And more seriously, the belief that we attract our own misfortune with negative thoughts is incredibly harmful. It leads to victim blaming and crushing guilt for things that are completely out of our control. So, where does that leave us? The law of attraction, as it's often sold, is a simplified fantasy. But if you dig through the myths, you find some powerful truths for personal growth. It's a framework that encourages a positive mindset, which we know has real psychological benefits. It pushes us to understand our emotions and heal the old stories holding us back. And it teaches us to listen to our gut and act from a place of inspiration, not desperation. Don't just sit back and wait for the universe to grant your wishes. See this as an invitation to co-create your life. Use that positive focus to prime your mind for opportunity. Do the deep inner work to find emotional clarity, and then take the inspired, real-world action needed to build the life you truly want. That's the secret they never tell you. If you're ready to build a powerful mindset and take control of your life, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss what's next. And check out this video right here on breaking through those limiting beliefs.